Welcome back everyone to another episode of Sneaker Updates. This will be Sneaker Updates number 78. If you happen to be new here, feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on every hype sneaker. Essentially, in this series we go over sneakers that receive updates throughout the week. For example, some of those may potentially include some Jordans, Yeezys, and more. But with that short little intro out of the way, why don't we jump right into the first update. Kicking it off for today, we'll actually be starting with something other than sneakers for one. Primarily because so many of you guys were asking specifically about this situation. The question is, what is going on with the Supreme Milan Bogo drop? We already saw the in-store release at the Supreme Milan store. That is where the tees in circulation right now are primarily deriving from. However, what is currently up in the air right now is whether or not these are going to be dropping online. Multiple reputable Supreme sources, even including Drops by Jay, announced that the online drop was confirmed. They announced that it would specifically occur on Friday or Monday, which technically would have made the most sense. If you guys recall, back when the San Fran Box Logo dropped, they did not drop on a Thursday, but rather the following Monday. That's what I was initially expecting for these as well. However, one issue that confused me was that these sources were only confirming the US drop and listing the Europe drop as potential. Back when the San Fran Box Logo dropped, those were US exclusive. This made sense due to where the San Fran store is located, obviously. It seems a little contradicting that the Milan Box Logo would only drop in the US, considering where the store is located. Hypothetically, had this information been fabricated with the incentive to make money off affiliates for advertised bots or proxy, like many were assuming, rather than authentic, it would make more sense for these sources to post was that Europe was also at least confirmed, but that was not the case. Therefore, I do feel confident that this was still authentic information and that they will actually eventually release online. It was pretty clear from the post that although the drop was confirmed for online, the dates themselves were just rumors, and these dates were likely assumed based off the prior surprise drops, such as that San Fran Box Logo, which released on a Monday. Hence, I would not be surprised if we do see a drop on next Friday or next Monday. After all, Supreme does like using the element of surprise for these types of drops, yet everyone was already prepared for this hypothetical drop this week. I would strongly suggest being in front of your computer at 11 a.m. GMT for Europe and 11 a.m. Eastern Time for US, so you're prepared just in case they do end up dropping. Based on the recent posts from these sources, it appears that they don't even know when or if anything is still going to occur. Unfortunately, since this is not something releasing on Nike, I don't have inside info, but I do hope that this analysis of the situation does influence you guys to prepare on next Friday and Monday for the potential releases. Also, keep a lookout for if Europe does end up releasing them, even though Europe was initially not confirmed. If they do, then US should follow on the same day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, essentially your confirmation that they will be dropping that day. Regardless, I'd still suggest being prepared anyway. It's not over until the fat lady sings. If nothing happens, whatever, but I'm in the mindset that it's better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to something as profitable as this. With that out of the way now, let's move on to some Jordans where we got some pretty exciting news. First, we got our first in-hand look at the Jordan 4 Union Desert Moss. Just a little over a week ago, we also got our first look at the Jordan Union Topaz as well. These are both confirmed to be dropping this summer for $225. Of course, I will keep you guys updated on these and how to cop, so make sure you do subscribe and enable post notifications. I'd also suggest following my Twitter for urgent information, such as how the prior drop went. Also, feel free to follow Endurance on Twitter for updates on restocks or giveaways. What an insane cookout the last Union 4 drop was. When they do drop, you can expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin. Full throttle, of course. Moving on, we got some more good news. The Jordan 1 Pollen will be releasing a tad earlier than initially expected. These are now set to drop on August 7th for $170. Expect all sizes to be profitable with a good margin. Moving on, courtesy of Z Sneakerheads, we got a mock-up of the Jordan 3 Cardinal, which is set to drop in early 2022 for $190. At best, I'd only expect about lunch money with a poor margin for these when they do end up dropping. Moving on, courtesy of Sam Group, we have a better in-hand look at the Travis Scott Fragment Jordan 1 Low. We've already discussed these many times. Expect expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin when they do end up dropping. Of course, I will keep you guys updated on these. They are currently set to drop in fall of this year. Then we also got a closer look at the Jordan 1 Pro Multicolor. These are set to release on September 11th for $170. Expect these to be profitable with a good margin when they do release. Then official images have loaded for the Jordan 1 Electric Orange, which is set to drop on July 17th for $170 in men and $130 in grade school. Expect them to be profitable with a good margin when they end up releasing. With Jordans out of the way though, let's move on to Yeezys, and we actually got quite a bit to discuss for once. First, we have some amazing news. Unless you're holding pairs still, Yeezy 500 Blush is finally going to be re-releasing. This re-release will occur sometime in fall of this year for $200. Despite there being more stock now of these, I still expect all sizes to be very profitable with a great margin as well, especially with sizes under 8 having the best margin as usual for 500 lows. We also got a detailed look at the Yeezy 380 Alien Blue, which drops on May 31st for $230. Personal only when it comes to these. 380s unfortunately have just had a severe lack of hype, unfortunately. The same goes for the Yeezy Quantum Flash Orange, which drops on May 22nd for $250. Personal only when it comes to these as well, sadly. Moving on, we got a closer look at the Yeezy 350 Mono Black, which releases in late summer to fall for $220. Expect these to be profitable with a very good margin when they do end up releasing, especially in size under 8, of course. Also, don't forget we do have the Mono Pack dropping on June 24th for $220 each. This includes the Mono Ice pair, Mono Clay pair, and Mono Mist pair. I expect all of these to at least be small profit in all sizes with at least a subpar margin, and profitable in all sizes under 8 with a good margin. We also got a look at another Yeezy Foamrunner, the Ochre pair. These will release in July for $80. Similar to the prior Foamrunners, expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin as well. Moving on, the Yeezy 450 Dark Slate will be releasing on June 25th for $200. Similar to the last pair, expect this pair to be very profitable with a great margin, full throttle of course. Then on June 19th for $200, we will be getting another Yeezy 500, that of which looks very similar to the Blush pair that we just discussed, which is restocking. This though is actually the Taupe Light pair. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin when they do end up releasing. Then on June 11th for $240, the Yeezy 700 Inflame will be dropping. Expect these to be profitable with a decent margin in all sizes and a good margin in all sizes under 8. Then on June 7th for $220, the Yeezy 700 MNVN Bright Cyan will be dropping. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin too. As you can see, June is already looking absolutely insane. I can't wait to show you guys what we have in store. Also, a reminder, on May 29th, we have the Yeezy Foamrunner Mineral Blue dropping for $80. Just like the last pairs, expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin. Moving on, we also got our very first in-hand look at the Yeezy 350 Leaf, which is set to drop in fall for $220. Expect these to be profitable in all sizes with a poor margin if you don't have tax and a decent margin for sizes under 8. Then we also got a mock-up of the Yeezy Foamrunner Vermilion in all red. These will be dropping in October for $80. Expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin as well, similar to the others. Moving on, the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner is also going to be restocking again for like the 5th time in a row now. They will still have the old retail of $300, not the new $240, which we've been seeing on a lot of 700s, but I still do expect them to remain profitable with a decent margin at least, especially for sizes under 8. Then the Yeezy 700 V2 Mauve will be releasing in August for $240 according to Pirates. Even though this isn't the most hyped colorway, with a retail of only $240, it should still leave sufficient room for profitability with at least a decent margin and a good margin for sizes under 8. And finally, for Yeezys today, the Yeezy 350 MX Rock will be dropping in September for $220. Expect these to be profitable in all sizes with a poor margin if you don't have tax and a decent margin for sizes under 8. With Yeezys out of the way though, now moving on to some miscellaneous sneakers. First, the Dunk High Game Royal will be dropping on June 11th for $100. Expect these to be profitable with a very good margin when they do end up releasing, similar to the Syracuse pair. Although we discussed these a very very long time ago, official images have now loaded for the Ambush Dunk High Deep Royal. These are set to drop in summer for $180. Similar to the prior colorways, expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Moving on, Undefeated just had their raffle for the Kobe 5 Hall of Fame yesterday, along with a sneakers pass today. Undefeated did not announce a first come first serve drop, unfortunately, as of me posting this video, but I still would suggest being ready on their website at 8, 10, 11:24, 12, and 1 p.m. Eastern Time for potential drop times. If they do drop any online, of course, because again, they usually do confirm these types of drops, and they didn't in this case, so more than likely they're not going to be dropping, but it won't hurt to be prepared anyway. Also, keep an eye out on their Instagram in case they do post any drop details. The sneakers release for these should occur on a later date, other than the sneakers pass, which already occurred, of course. Moving on, we should see the Clot Sacai Waffle released in fall of this year for $170. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin when they do end up releasing. Then the Kobe 6 Pop should release on June 3rd for $180. Expect these to be profitable with a decent margin, primarily in larger sizes 10 and up. You should also be seeing the Undercover Sacai Waffle drop in a bright citrus colorway later this year for $160. Expect these to also be very profitable with a great margin. Anyway, that will conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts. Also, feel free to follow Endurance for updates on restocks or key giveaways. Last but not least, make sure you follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You so you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day and good luck on these upcoming releases.